briefly move on to a bit of Premier League football. Stevie, United getting a win away to Villa. That was something hard to predict.
What United are?
Or am I talking nonsense?
You're talking about Man United?
Sorry, did I say? Sorry, I said Villa.
Luton.
I meant Luton. Sorry.
No, we beat Luton.
But United on a bit of
Luton, by the way, which is quite
they're
difficult.
going on a bit of a spree.
We've actually only lost. I don't think we've lost a game in 2024. Premier League wise, we actually are on a bit of a run here. We've actually been horrendous. Like we've looked like a horrendously pub football team, but ironically, we are on a little bit of a run.
also, like to be fair, because if you look at your if you look at your goal difference, I think it became positive for the first time this game week. But you're sitting pretty there in sixth somehow, way, shape, or form. I mean, the rest of the competitions have been a bit of a throwaway, but I mean, fair play to Højlund. He can't get off the score sheet.
Youngest player ever, by the way, to score 6 consecutive goals, beating Joe Willock and Erling Haaland.
Oh, really?
Up the Rasmus, yeah.
Rasmus. Is that from his first goal?
Yeah.
Has he not stopped scoring since he scored his first goal?
No.
That's wild. Talk about a kind of hot and cold. But in other fixtures, I mean, Arsenal have been looking ridiculous. They've been blowing away opponents left, right, and centre. You know, first of all, obviously, a 6-0 win last weekend to West Ham. Then again, 5-0 this weekend, beating Burnley. Are they genuine title contenders?
No.
I agree, and I want to think so. But I don't believe it. Like, they're kind of not going away now. I thought...
I don't know. See, the problem is, you know, for example, they're playing against Porto tomorrow night in the Champions League, so that could very well end badly. You don't want to go and play Porto in Portugal. And I genuinely think that there's an implosion. Have you seen their fixtures? So they've got Newcastle this weekend, then Sheffield and Brentford. Okay, cool, fine. They're then going back to back Chelsea and City. So City are doing what City does. You know, where they're starting they've got to hold, and we'll talk about that.
Let's get into that, because they were on the verge of losing.
And they were on the verge of, and that was the opportunity to actually, if they had won that game, they would have gone up to 56 points. They would have been ahead of Arsenal, and they would have then been able to have gone ahead of Liverpool tonight
with the extra game in hand. Yeah. I mean, I've never been so much of a Chelsea fan until this last weekend. That was I screaming for Chelsea to defend. I mean, they definitely deserved to get their one goal back. But Chelsea just are the most... I cannot remember a more unpredictable team than this. Like, the fact that they've got a treble-winning City team, but then one of the worst Chelsea teams that we've seen in years now gets 2 draws against them.
Yeah. And it's an interesting one with regards to what you do with Pochettino, because, you know...
Yeah.
You've gone from
numbers-wise, it's horrible.
Yeah, you look at the table and you sit there saying, well, how can you back him? He's 10th. And you look at certain games, you're going, and he's there. And my biggest problem is that they brought in Pochettino after buying all these players and said, well, here's this billion-pound squad, make it work. And I don't think... the reason I think you keep Pochettino is similar to United and Erik ten Hag. You can sack the guy, but I don't think the next guy is going to do any better.
No. And to be fair, this time, or in 2 weeks' time, we could be speaking about them having won the first trophy of the season. Yeah. You know, and so he's been doing the Premier League. There've been a lot of slip ups, but to be fair, I don't think he's that phased about top six, like even getting Europa, maybe keeping a couple of players, but they're all young. I don't see anyone leaving if they don't make top six.
And also, I
Like,
think generally we've seen this with Arsenal. Not getting Europe or conference or
can help
anything
a lot.
is so good, especially if you're going through a rebuild. If you go into next season going, right, boys, this is Premier League season now. You know, this is the season we get back into being part of the European elite, and you play once a week, basically.
The last thing they want is the Conference League.
No, you don't want Conference League. You don't want Europa. You don't want to play on the Thursday.
it.
You don't want Thursday night football. You Champions League or nothing. That's why when United went out of the Champions League, I was like, well, at least we're out. We're not going down to the Europa to go and go off to Azerbaijan and crap like that. Like, no. We're going out. We're going out.
Yeah, okay. That's it. That's where I'm at Liverpool Thursday night. So me and the boys. Not fun.
No, it's crap. Playing with teams with
it's
a Wi-Fi
heating up.
passwords.
We have a three-way battle: 54, 55, 57. Or 54 is as it stands tonight. If City win, that'll take them to 56. So in which case it'll be 55, 56, 57. All 25 games played. So I mean, hard to complain as a general fan. But Stevie, let's get into the predictions for this weekend. And since we're on the topic, let's start with a big one, which is Arsenal-Newcastle. Newcastle kind of starting to show a bit of form after a tough Jan period. Probably the first time people started questioning Eddie Howe. But versus an Arsenal side,
coming off a draw against Bournemouth at home, though, so not.
True.
They've actually had a very weird. I mean, they had that 4-4 draw against Luton, which was mental. 3-2 against Forest, 3-1 against Villa, 3-2 against City, where they actually look pretty competitive. They've had it's a strange team to predict because it's a bit like the Lions, I suppose, where they pick up when they pitch up. They can go toe to toe with the best of them, but they're also beatable. So it's at the Emirates. I don't see Arsenal losing, but maybe a draw could be on the cards if Newcastle rock up and can get the business done. They were quite a nice run ahead of them, actually. So this would be a bit. If they could beat Arsenal, then Chelsea, the only real big game they've got until Spurs and United, which is in April. So it'd be an opportunity for them to really get a bit of a second go going for after the season, for the second half of the season, if they can get a result on Saturday, which I think a draw would be a decent result for them.